Welcome to the Photos of the Past channel. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. The sealed door to King Tutankhamun's tomb, discovered in 1922 by Howard Carter. This ancient seal remained untouched for nearly 3,000 years, heralding one of the most significant archaeological discoveries in history. This photograph depicts three women subjected to the cangi, a punishment method used in Old China. This wooden collar was designed to restrict movement and publicly shame prisoners. Offenders were often displayed in public as part of their sentence. This striking photograph depicts two men overcoming physical challenges through solidarity and friendship. One serves as the carrier for the other, symbolizing how they share life's burdens together. It highlights the power of human will and the importance of unity. This photograph depicts a soldier who suffered from mustard gas exposure during World War I. Highlighting the devastating effects of chemical warfare, it starkly illustrates the brutality of war and the limited medical interventions available at the time. This photograph depicts an execution carried out by Austrian soldiers during World War I. Blindfolded prisoners kneeling before the firing squad vividly illustrate the cruelty and injustice of war. This photo, taken on June 6, 1944, captures New Yorkers anxiously listening to news about the D-Day landings in Normandy. The expressions of concern and hope on their faces reflect the profound impact of the war on everyday life. This 1910 photograph depicts child laborers working in American coal mines. These young workers, subjected to harsh labor conditions, highlight the struggles of the time and the lack of labor rights for children. This photograph shows a crashed German warplane during World War I, highlighting the harsh conditions of aerial combat and the fragility of the era's technology. This image reflects the dangers faced by pilots and the devastation of war in the skies. A documentation of early reconstructive surgeries performed to repair severe injuries sustained during World War I. The photograph highlights the challenges and innovations in facial surgery at the time. This rare photograph, taken on the opening day of the Eiffel Tower in 1889, captures the celebrations held as part of the Exposition Universelle, World's Fair, in Paris. The image showcases elegantly dressed visitors and the lively atmosphere among the detailed architectural structures surrounding the tower. This monumental structure was built to showcase France's engineering prowess and innovation to the world. This daguerreotype captures the final portrait of an outlaw shortly after death. In the 19th century, post-mortem photographs like this were often used to prove the capture and justice served upon criminals. The gun in his hand stands as a stark symbol of his violent life. This 1968 protest in Memphis represents the historic march of African-American sanitation workers demanding equal rights and fair treatment. The "I am a man" sign strongly symbolize the fight for human dignity and equality. This iconic photograph was taken during the 1972 Munich Olympics. It depicts a terrorist from the Black September group holding Israeli athletes hostage. Remembered as one of the darkest days in Olympic history, the event ended with the tragic loss of 11 athletes. This photograph captures a segregationist protest from 1950s America. Signs reading "Race mixing is communism" highlight the discriminatory mindset of the era and the opposition to the civil rights movement. This photograph captures a Buddhist protest in South Vietnam in 1963, where monks and women resisted government oppression. Despite the barbed wire, they stood firm for peace. This iconic image became a symbol of the struggle for religious freedom and human rights. This photograph depicts wounded soldiers evacuated from the front lines during World War I. At a temporary medical station set up in an open field, nurses and doctors attend to those fighting for survival. The image highlights the devastating human cost of war and the critical role of medical efforts. This photo from the 1936 Berlin Olympics captures Adolf Hitler interacting with a woman in the crowd. The games, heavily utilized for Nazi propaganda, were seen as a crucial opportunity to showcase power and prestige on the global stage. However, the event unfolded under the shadow of the regime's blatant disregard for human rights. This portrait shows William Patrick Hitler, Adolf Hitler's nephew, serving in the U.S. Navy. Rejecting his uncle's ideology, William Patrick sought refuge in America and joined the Allied forces during World War II to fight against Germany. This moment highlights an ironic and fascinating chapter in history. This photograph showcases Austrian soldiers during World War I climbing steep mountain slopes. Their effort highlights the challenging terrain and the physical endurance required in warfare during those times. This photograph shows a soldier with severe facial injuries from World War I, captured before and after surgery. It highlights the devastating effects of war and the life-giving hope brought by medicine. The image showcases the early success of plastic surgery in restoring lives. This 19th century photograph captures women selling flowers on the street. Taken in the poor neighborhoods of London, such scenes highlight the economic struggles and daily lives of the working class of the era. These women relied on flower trading to make a living. This heartbreaking photograph was taken in 1943 in the Warsaw Ghetto. It captures the moment when Jews were forcibly surrendered by Nazi soldiers, featuring a child raising his hands in fear. The image has become a powerful symbol of the inhumanity of the Holocaust.